Maddie, and this is a video about my 2025 cross-stitch bullet journal. So I'm using this book here, which was gifted to me a few years ago. It's got a latch on the front and all of this cool detailing. I quite like this book. The paper in it is pretty thin, and I have used it for other things in the past, but I wanted to bullet journal this year and I wanted to try and buy minimal supplies, so I'm starting at about here in the book. And this is the cover page here. Now, if you don't know what a bullet journal is, it's basically a make your own diary essentially, and predominantly this year I'm going to be using it for tracking my cross stitch and a few of my other hobbies. So that's my cover page, nice and simple there. And during this video, I'm going to be popping in clips of me making these pages, and then we'll come back to these clips here of the flip through. So our first page here is the table of contents. So notes. So I am numbering the pages as I go and journal. And I've just decorated these with some washi tapes and stamps and stickers that I already had in my collection from when I used to bullet journal a lot more often. And as you can see, some of the tapes are a little bit old and I've just been going through and sticking those down. And you can see the stamps bleeding through on the other side here, but like I said, I wanted to use this book and I'm kind of leaning into the messy, kind of rustic vibe with this one. Next page is a year at a glance here. And these are stamps that I got from I can't remember, it'll come to me at editing, I'm sure. This one here is my future log, so I've done this in done this in quarters, so quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3 and quarter 4, because I'm not going to be logging a whole heap of things in here. This is just cross stitch related, but I'm also tracking some like events during the year. You can see I've got lunar eclipse, autumn equinox, solstices, and then the moon cycles listed as well. And this is my wheel of the year. This is probably one of the creative pages that I've come up with, and I'm still dabbling with putting the moon phases in here, but all of the other stuff is set now. I found on, I think it was ABC website, I'll be able to pop a link in the description, but this is the Bodkin and Andrews clans essentially seasonal calendar. So if we look here from December through to February, it is this season, which is hot and dry, and this plant is flowering. And I've got the traditional names of each season and plant in here with a little description, because where I live in Australia, we don't tend to have the like really distinct 4-season cycle that you might get in a few places in the northern hemisphere. I don't get snow, and our summers tend to be long and hot. So I've got them here. So we cycle from hot and dry to wet and getting colder, the cold time, and cold and windy in August, which was very true in August. We had huge windstorms going through the southern east coast of Australia, and then we have cool and getting warmer through September and October, and then November here through December, by the looks of it. Yes, I said this top one wrong. You can see here, that one's January and February. So yeah, November through December is warm and wet, and it has been. So it's very interesting for me to start thinking about the seasons a little bit differently. And I have also marked the traditional seasons here on this outer ring: summer, autumn, winter, and spring. Yeah, I had a lot of fun putting this one together, and hopefully I'll be able to refer to it more often. And like I said, I'm still not decided on putting in the lunar calendar in here as well, but maybe I will, and maybe you'll see that later. The lunar eclipse and equinoxes and solstices are all penciled in. September's a big month for astrological things by the looks of it for 2025. This page here is my year in pixels, and I've started it. I've started it, as you can see, in December because I wanted to get straight into it. And the way I'm tracking here is a cross as I've cross-stitched that day, a circle as I've played a game, and a plus is reading a book, because I'd like to read a little bit more in the coming year. This is a list of my cross-stitch whips. So these are all the ones that I'm planning to start 2025 with. I haven't got my puppies and squirrels one listed because I'm finishing that one this month and a big December. And the other one I'm finishing is the Dragon Landscape, which I just started recently. So if I do end up not finishing them this month, I'll add them on here. This is one of my favourite little stands here with the little butterfly wings and jars and the mushrooms, super fun. And all of this background here is a Tombow Brush pen. I should be able to drop a link of the colour that I'm using here, because obviously the pages are this cream off-white kind of colour. This is some more cross-stitch tracking here. this is my finish goals. So I've got a few listed here. I'd like to finish my Dragonfly Scroll, a Dimensions kit, and fully finish my Herbalist and Love Bug by the that's the end of the year in June. So this is just a bit of a list where I can track what I'd like to finish so I know where to focus. This is my new start wish list, so things that I'd like to start in 2025. And as you can see, I've already got a lot of thoughts there, as a lot of us do in this time of year when we're starting to think about New Year's plans. And I think this is a good idea because I get excited about new patterns that are released or new things that I've seen, and I can forget about the things that I love that I have in my collection. So this should help focus me and starting and finishing some things that I've had for a little bit longer in my stash. This is a fun page. So I'm going to be doing WIPGO this year. So WIPGO So WIPGO is kind of like bingo for cross stitch, and I think Jessie Marie Does Stuff is the creator and does the number draws for each month, and she has a how-to video that I can link to in the description. But essentially a few days before a month, Jessie will call 2 numbers random generated, and then we will do the challenges on those numbers. And I've done it a little bit like a mystery one for myself but I've forgotten already. So essentially on the number call, I'll take off these stamps, which are kind of old, and you would have seen I tacked them on my hand so they weren't sticky. This is the free space, so I know what it is because it's 13 in the middle of the grid. And I've also set up rewards for myself. So in the back of my book here, I've got some pages. I'll pull this one out. So these are all my cross stitching goals, but as I finish things, I'm going to reward myself. So for bingo rewards, that means if I get W here, which means I complete all of these boxes in this row, I'm going to get to open one of the fabrics that I've bought from Paddock Lane Designs. So I've got, I think, 6 small pieces of fabric that I've purchased from Paddock Lane Designs, and I've got 6 needle minders from Ginger Stitch AU. And when I get a bingo, essentially, I get to open one of those. And I've requested them to be individually wrapped, so it'll be a surprise for me. I'm super excited about that. And the other thing I'm doing is getting a reward for each box I do as well. So I've made this WIPGO really easy for myself, and hopefully super fun so that I can work on all of the things that I've got in this grid and just gamify my stitching a little bit more. So if I finish box 1, then I'm going to be putting $5 into an envelope that I'll be able to open at the end of the year and spend on cross stitch. And you can see here I get to buy myself a pastry or a little snack. This one's a bubble tea. 13 is nothing because it's a free space. And then, yeah, just different dollar amounts to throw in the envelope. And then 7 and 17 are special ones because I get to buy a pattern that's $15 or less if I finish the challenge in the square. So I'm super excited about that. So that's like the key for my WIPGO rewards. And I've just stashed that. I've made a little folder in the back here. I just folded a bit of paper and stuck it down. This is a scrap that I had that I'd scribbled on. So yeah, super exciting page. I can't wait for the WIPGO numbers to be announced. I think they're getting announced on Christmas Day, so can't wait for that to see what I'll be diving into first in January, apart from the Haid stitch along. You would have seen that in my WIP list. Even though I haven't started it yet, I know I'll be starting it in January, so it's on my WIP list. So yes, so excited. Oh my goodness. So more tracking pages. So So books that I've read in the year and games that I've played, and I have started tracking from December because I've been using this book. There's been a little bit of time between filming the creation of these pages and actually filming this flip through, so you can see how I'm using some of these pages. And then I'm also going to be tracking some snail mail, so I'm going to pick the dates that I receive and send out mail to 3 of my friends. So I love writing letters and receiving letters. I think it's super fun, but I'm not very consistent with it. So maybe this page will help me be a little bit more consistent. So that's the start of my journal there. And these are all of the pages that you will have seen me draw up. So that's up to page 15 there. And the next set of pages are my monthly spreads and journaling pages. So like I said, I started in December, so I've got December to show you. So that's the title page there. And then this is the monthly calendar for December with a bit of a greeting theme here with some stickers and washi tape that I had in stash. And the stamps again from a store that I keep forgetting. It's a really big bullet journal store. Suki's collection they have. It will be on the screen and in the description. So we can see I'm using this monthly spread like a book of days. A lot of people use books of days and they catalog things in the monthly spread there. So these are the projects that I've worked on in December 2024. And you can see which days I worked on them. I'm not tracking hours or stitches or anything like that. I've also put in this calendar when the full moon is and the summer solstice because I'd like to be a little bit more aware of the celestial, I don't know if calendar or cycles, just to feel a little bit more connected to the world around me. And then I've also got my hobby budget, so when I'm spending and when I'm putting money in, just to track a little bit, and my wish list, which you can see I've already filled up the ones that I've drafted. And so this is whether I've thought about it, so have I slept on it, or was it an impulse purchase, how much was it, and whether or not I actually purchased it. So you can see here, you'll see in my next regular video, my haul that I've got. And then the next few pages are just journaling pages. That's something for D&D, so I am scribbling in here as well. It's just a bit of everything. So that is my bullet journal for this year. I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to be using it for the entire year or whether I'm just going to use it for the first 6 months and then purchase another journal. I don't know how it's going to go. Am I going to fall off the bandwagon? Am I going to keep up with it? Not sure, but I've had heaps of fun setting it up, and I think it's going to be really good to track even just the monthly spreads of what I'm stitching. Be really useful for my floss tube videos. So thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.